I don't know about you, but I love a good planner. I love the idea. I know in this age that there are digital planners, but I love a good old paper planner that I sit down with and really take the time to plan out what my day is going to look like. I plan my day, I plan the week in advance. If I'm feeling really good, I'll go ahead and plan out the whole month, allowing myself to realize that things may change and things may come up, but I find myself being so much more structured and really being able to get so much more done when I take the time to plan. And so I want to take a little bit of time today to talk about why planning is so important for us, especially as we work to get healthier. Are you a busy woman who prioritizes everyone else's health above your own? Do you have questions about your diet, exercise, or how to prevent or treat certain health conditions? Are you always Googling health questions that you forget to ask or are embarrassed to ask your primary care physician? Girl, do you even have a primary care physician? Well, welcome to Headed to Healthier. I'm Dr. Brittany Anderson, a board-certified family medicine physician, and every day in my private practice, I have discussions with women just like you who are doing their best to juggle the demands of life while also desiring to become healthier. Inside this podcast, you'll find practical and actionable health tips that you can incorporate into your daily life. You'll get expert advice and insight from some of my awesome healthcare colleagues, and you'll hear relatable conversations with incredible women just like you who have made their health a priority and are thriving because of it. So throw on your sneakers and get some steps in while you listen. Or if you're driving, get those hands at 10 and 2 and let's dig in. We are headed to healthier. Hey ladies, welcome back to today's episode of Headed to Healthier. As you know, we often talk about eating better, moving more, sleeping longer on this podcast. These are all things that improve our health. But today I wanted to take some time to talk about something that doesn't always make the list of things that we need to do, and that's planning. Because when it comes to getting healthier, we don't just need more willpower. What most of us actually need is more structure, more awareness, and more intention. And planning gives you all three of these. So today I wanted to take a little bit of time to unpack how planning, even in small, simple ways, can completely change your health story. One of the first things that I think planning does for us is it helps us to create awareness. When you plan, you're paying attention to your life instead of just letting life happen to you. If you're anything like me, I know that there are times that you may run on autopilot, whether it's you rush in between appointments, things your kids have going on, meals, etc. You may feel like you're always just rushing and on your way to the next thing. But when you sit down, even for a couple minutes, and look at your week, you start to see the patterns. And if you haven't done this, I would challenge you to do it. Sit down, look at the week behind you, and think about what that week looked like. When you do this, you may start to notice when your energy dips, when you tend to skip meals, when you start saying yes to too many things, when you're overdue for that doctor's visit, that's an important one. But when we have this awareness, it really is the foundation for us to be able to make those health changes. I always say, whether it is running my medical practice, whether it's me telling patients this, whether it's related to business, you can't change what you don't notice. And in order to notice things, sometimes you really need to sit down and track it. So maybe that means writing down your meals, writing down your moods through the days, tracking your walks, taking note of your daily wins. When you're really intentional about planning, it helps to pull those pieces out of your head, so it kind of takes them from being scattered and really puts them where you can see them right in front of you. And when you see these things, then you can act on it and then you can make change. And those changes can lead to you really living your best and healthiest life. So I do think that planning creates awareness. The second thing that I think we get from planning is that planning reduces decision fatigue. Have you ever noticed that by the end of the day, you are too tired to make even one more decision, regardless of what that decision is about? Well, that is called decision fatigue, and it is real. But planning ahead really helps you make decisions once in advance and not multiple times through the day. So, for example, if your meals are planned in advance, you don't have to get through the end of your day and still be worried about what you're going to have for dinner. If your workouts are scheduled, then you're not having that negotiation in your head with yourself at 8 p.m. on whether you're going to work out that day. And importantly, if you block time for rest and time for appointments, you're much less likely to let those things slide by. So I really do think that planning gives your brain kind of the gift of space and takes away some of that clutter. It frees up energy that you can be using for other things, things that actually matter, like showing up for yourself instead of just reacting to life when it happens. And so I think that being able to reduce decision fatigue, especially if you're like me, I know for me at the end of a long clinic, having had to make decisions all day, whether it's about the practice or trying to help my patients make their best health decisions, the last thing I want to do is come home and decide anything, whether that's what I want to eat for dinner, what I want to watch on TV, what I want my next podcast episode to be about. So really planning ahead helps to reduce that fatigue that comes with having to make decisions all the time. Another thing we get from planning is that it builds consistency. I'm here to tell you, health does not change overnight. It changes when small choices are repeated over time. And planning really helps you stack those choices so that they can become consistent. So, for example, when you put something on your calendar, you're saying, this matters to me. It matters enough that I'm writing it down, I'm including it in my day. That could be a morning walk. It could be a meal prep day. It can be setting a water goal for how much water you're going to drink. It could even be setting the same bedtime every day. But writing it down or putting it on your calendar really gives it that level of importance. And when you're doing this consistently, consistency builds momentum, and momentum is what builds results. Even if those results start off small, if you do it consistently and keep putting in the work, those results can be huge in the end. And remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being intentional. And planning helps you get back on track faster when life throws you off. So taking that time to be really intentional about planning, not being perfect, but just really working towards goals that you have in front of you. I also think that planning really helps to kind of center us and connect us to our why. If you're anything like me, I start things and then next thing you know, I've moved on to the next thing and sometimes don't always go back and finish that thing that I started. And when I sit down and really think about what things that happens with, it's usually the things that I've not said to myself, this is why you're doing this. This is why it's important. I believe that we're all more likely to stick with something when it's connected to something that really matters to us. And I believe that that's what planning gives us. It invites you to reflect, so to sit down, take some time, and really take that space to think about why you want these things. So, why you want to feel better, who you want to show up for, why you need to get certain things done through the day. Maybe it's for your kids, maybe it's for your future self, maybe it's just for your own peace of mind. But whatever your why is, I think when you're sitting down having to plan out your day or planning the week or planning the month, when you have that why in mind, planning helps you to keep it visible so that your daily choices line up with those things that are important to you. So in wrapping up, when we think about planning, if you've been feeling stuck or overwhelmed, maybe you don't need another diet. Maybe you don't need another challenge or another program to be a part of. Maybe what you actually need is a plan. One that's realistic, that's flexible, and most importantly, a plan that's centered on you. So I want you to try this. At the start of next week, so the next Monday that comes behind this, I want you to take 5 minutes to plan something. I don't care what that something is. It can be your meals, your workouts, your rest time, even your next doctor's appointment. But take a little bit of time to plan it. Write it down, look at it daily, and importantly, give yourself some grace if it doesn't go perfectly. But you've got a better chance of it going the way you want to if you take that time and stop and think about it in advance. Because every plan, even a simple one, is a signal to yourself that I care enough to be intentional with my health. And that alone can change everything. Now, shameless plug here. If you have been following along, checking your emails, etc., you know that something exciting is coming soon. Something that I created to help you plan and care for your health in a whole new way. So this episode is releasing on October 8th, And I have set a save the date for October 20th because on October 20th, I'm going to reveal this planner that I've created. It's more than just a place to put what you're going to do that day, that week, that month, but it really is a place for reflection. And because I am a physician and health is what is important to me, it's a place to track and document your health history, your health goals, all those things that are so important as we strive to be healthier. If you want to be the first to hear all the details, you can join the VIP list. You'll get early access and a first look at what's coming in the planner. And I guarantee you, you won't want to miss it. I have designed a planner that would be perfect for me. And my hope is that if it's perfect for me and will allow me to meet my health goals and to be productive and efficient, then it can do the same thing for so many other women. The link to join the VIP list is in the show notes. I can't wait to show you what I've created. Until next time, I'm wishing you the best health. I'll be here next week with another episode. Hey, thanks for listening in today. I hope something you heard in this episode will help you on your journey to becoming healthier. Remember, this podcast offers general health information. I am not your personal physician. If you need advice that is specific to you, be sure to consult your physician. If you enjoy this podcast, please consider sharing it with a friend and reviewing it on Apple Podcasts. Also, be sure to subscribe to the show so you never miss an episode. Tune in next week for another great episode of Headed to Healthier. Until then, take care of yourself. Talk soon. Bye.